Hello everybody, today is August 4th, and I just want to make a video addressing the hazard pay. And I just wanted to bring it up again that, for those of you who are currently essential employees, you guys need to consider something. I know that the 10,000 seems great, right? Like, I go, oh, wow, $10,000. That's more than what I can, save up in a year's worth of time, right? Because, let's just be honest, like, a lot of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and statistically, and like the wealth inequality and the wealth gap is only increased further. But what you guys need to consider is that $10,000 isn't enough. And some of you might be like, "What? $10,000 isn't enough? What are you talking about? Like that's a lot of money." Yeah, it is, but you guys need to consider this. Since the beginning of the quantitative easing, right, all the stimulus check, the value of the dollar has gone down, and the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down too. So that means like if you used to be able to buy 10 Big Macs or 10 steaks or before, with all this money that's being printed, right? More money, less demand for that money, right? So that means that the value of your dollar went down. So instead of being able to buy 10 steaks or 10 burgers, you can only buy like 8 or 9 or 7. And this is just going to keep happening. So while your pay wages stay the same, you're making that, anywhere from minimum wage to, I don't know, if you're in the medical field or you're in a career as an essential employee, you're making some decent money. But, regardless of that, your money is depreciating in value every single day. So that means while those on unemployment have been making on average 156% more than you per week by doing whatever they want, not risking their health and staying at home. Or some of them don't stay at home. Some of them just break the rules and whatever. But we got to talk about the monetary aspect of it first. So if you a majority of you guys, now not all of you guys, but a majority of you people out there, if you were on unemployment benefits, you would probably be making anywhere from 100 to 156% more on average. And even if you were making the same, wow, that's great because you just had a bunch of free time to do whatever you want. And these things that the free time that you could have been, especially for a lot of you essential employees like grocery clerks and stuff, or lower level jobs. This free time could have been used to benefit yourself mentally, physically, through your skills and your earning potential. Like you could have gone back to college. You could have started a good routine for your life. You could have focused on your mental health. You could have worked on your family. You could have worked on a lot of things that people in our wage bracket usually suffer from or we're lacking. And education is probably going to be one of the most important things moving forward. So as your jobs disappear, right? As your jobs disappear through like things like automation and technology, you're gonna all the essential employees who have been stuck working harder than ever, making less, are just gonna be swept under the table, because your counterpart, if you had a twin brother or twin sister, for example, who maybe worked a job that made around the same amount as you, but they are currently on unemployment, pretty much tripled their income if you do the math. So they could have used this time to play video games, or they could have used the time effectively and work under the table for cash, like I know a lot of people are doing. They could have gone back to school. They could have finished school. They could have worked on skills that transition in the future that help their earning power and earning potential. Well, you are just busier than ever. Your mental health is probably ruined, and you're stressed out, and probably doing all these kind of negative coping activities to cope with the heavy workload, because no one wants to go back to work. And you're risking your life and potentially bringing that disease home, or that virus. So you guys need to consider all these things. So if you do the basic math, right, um, if you do the basic math, you'll figure out that even if you did get this current proposed hazard pay of $10,000, which is $13 per hour, that's retroactively paid since January, it already would have capped out late May or early June. So that means anywhere from June till now and moving forward, you're not receiving hazard pay. Also, if you did the math, those on unemployment are still making more than you, or you're finally making around the same amount, or you're still making less. Do you see the problem here? Like, basically, I guess let me ask you a different question if you don't see what the problem is, because I have an argument. I don't think 10,000 is enough. Actually, I don't believe it's enough. And here's my argument towards you. Let's just pretend you are, um, let's just pretend you're a hardworking person, okay? You're a hardworking person. Well, I know you are as an essential employee, but you're a hardworking person, and you have ambitions and dreams and goals, right? You want to better your life. You want to finish school. Maybe you don't like being an essential employee because a lot of these jobs are frowned upon by society, and no one cares about you. So maybe you want to go back to school or focus on a skill. Maybe you want to focus on a trade. Maybe you have a lot of obligations at home. Maybe you have a lot of things you need to do. Um, would you rather have made let's just say, would you rather have made X amount of money? Would you rather have made X amount of money staying at home with free time? Like this, would you rather have made X amount of money with all this free time that you can do whatever you need to do with it and make the same amount of money as a guy working or a girl working and not risking your health during the C virus? Or would you rather be working harder than ever for a bunch of people who aren't even grateful for you? The government doesn't care about you. People, non-essentials, don't care about you. The only people who can really empathize with you are essential employees. And would you rather be your employer probably doesn't care about you either. Would you rather be working harder than ever, stressed out, not getting paid, no hazard pay, your pay stays the same? And then you may be thinking like, oh, I feel honored to work, even though your employer doesn't care about you most likely, and non-essentials don't even care about you or advocate for hazard pay on average. So like, I don't think anyone really cares except for other essential employees because they're the only ones speaking up. But you could have used all this free time to better yourself, and time is money. So people on essential employees, even if they made the same amount as you, even with the hazard pay, they've had all this free time, and then you're not even being compensated truly for the hazard that you've been working in, the hazardous conditions. So, do you see the problem with this? The 10,000 isn't enough. It's just not. And again, it's already capped out at late May and early June. So, did the problem really fix? Is the virus suddenly gone? No, the virus is still here. So I don't really see how this $10,000 hazard pay is enough, because if you gave me the option, right, to either collect, I don't know, $20,000 from the beginning of unemployment, the CARES Act, till now, $20,000 now, or and have all that free time and not risk my health, or $20,000 to be an essential employee, but that's only with the additional hazard pay. Otherwise, you're only going to make like half that. Would you, or and you won't have any free time to do anything because you're busier than ever because nobody wants to work, and you're risking your health. I would rather take the free money and use that money to better my future and my future earning potential, finish school, invest in stocks. Because also another thing that's going on is that as I said earlier, the purchasing power of the USD is going down. So, at a time is so important at a time like this because you're going to need it to better transition into the harder times moving forward. So you guys need to fight for what's right, and this hazard pay amount isn't enough, and it's not right. Majority, if not anyone with the brain, would realize that it's more beneficial financially, time-wise, and for your health to still be on unemployment, even with the hazard pay. So think about that, guys. Speak up, because if we don't do anything now, we're gonna get screwed over.